Hello, America and curling fans from Canada and Newfoundland. This is your host, Ryan Olson, bringing you the latest action from the 2025 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships presented by Curling.gg. Uh, this is a men's playdown as we are playing the men's and women's club playdowns at the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. We have a Coyotes clash on tap as we have Team Aronson, who is a name I will spell correctly right now. uh, Team Aronson taking on Team Murray. Teams did a draw to the button to see who would go last, having that last rock advantage known as the hammer. And it looks like Team Murray prevailed on that, and they will go last. So we're going to see opening rocks coming from Team Aronson. So glad to have you guys here. We have this is the second of 4 games on tap today with the patented MoPac quadruple header. So patented I can't remember the name sometimes. Uh, we'll keep you updated on the other games in action this draw. We have all 5 sheets in play here at the Coyotes Club as we are about ready to get underway with draw number 9 here on sheet B on the 18th of January. I'm not telling myself the date as I'm filling out this form. Team Aronson's playing the blue rocks while Team Murray is playing with the yellows. And we are seeing Joel Calhoun get set for Team Aronson. Opening with the out turn draw, looking to, I think, put up a guard or slip into the rings. We saw Aronson on Thursday night, and we saw Murray on a Friday afternoon as this rock is going to slip into the rings. A good draw to start things off. And Skip Sean Murray doesn't waste any time to put the broom down for a takeout by his leads, which would be Eric Kowal. And the hit's made, and the shooter's going to roll to the side of the sheet, out of the house and out of play. But the takeout was successful. So open house, and it looks like Aronson is going to try the draw as we see Joel push out of the hat. Uh, this is another contest between Skip's named Sean. We had another contest between Sean Murray and Sean Tate, and so this is the other Sean matchup. Uh, it's I'm laughing because sometimes they have events that are based on people's names and such. I don't know if we would have enough Sean's to do a Bonspiel with teams with Sean's in their name, but um, as I was joking the other day, you almost had to be named Sean to be a skip at Coyotes, apparently, as Kowal delivers his next rock. And Joel's second stone was a tight guard. And it looks like Eric was asked to draw around with the other turn. And it's going to kind of slip into the rings exposed. And so Aronson is going to tap and roll. And teams are moving pretty quickly as we see Kevin Maloney push out of the hat. Looking for a hit and to stick around, I would think. But the shooter's going to roll away. Not a bad outcome. Takeout was successful. And so now the broom is down to try the draw around. And Adam Endicott is being asked to take that on. Adam has been vicing for Team Murray as Adam is throwing second rocks. And that looks like it's going to go around the guard into the ring, settle in the back button. So that looks like a really great draw there from Adam. And it looks like Aronson is going to respond with a draw with Kevin second. I think kind of follow that Endicott draw to the top of the button. Around the guard, let's see where it ends up. It's going to tap the Murray stone to the back forefoot. And that last rock put up by Maloney is shot, but it is open. So Endicott's being asked to hit it and I think maybe roll towards the center a little bit. And let's see if his shot is on target here. So it's going to be just a little outside. It's going to roll towards the wing, but the takeout is made. And it does provide some separation, so it makes it a little harder for a hit and roll uh, or a double. And it looks like they're going to try the hit and roll as we see Jason Halleck with his first. That shot looked pretty successful. I was sneezing, so I didn't catch all of it. Uh, Taking a look at the overhead, looks like Halleck was able to bump the blue onto the yellow in the forefoot area, so it's now Aronson sitting shot. As we see Michael Siggins with his first shots. I think looking to clear the guard. And it taps the guard into the rings, makes contact with the shot blue, but then the guard that was running is basically replaces it. It is the now um, Aronson sitting shots covering the yellow Murray stone in the back. So the Murray stone is providing backing. It's going to be hard for Murray to get that out with his next shot. But Halleck is set. I think they're looking to draw again. This is, yeah, it's Halleck. So looking to draw. This is a little heavy. Let's see where it's going to stop. And it's going to go to the back to the 8 foot. And Murray kind of just let it settle down naturally, no sweeping. So it looks like Murray is going to consider separating those blues. I think maybe if they get a little lucky, um, try to pop the blue out as Siggins gets set. Looking to rearrange the rocks in the rings. This is Michael Siggins' second stone. Around the guard, and they're going to pop the blue. It unlocks the blue off the yellow. The yellow in the back 8 goes away, and then the shooter yellow settles in the back button. It's exposed, and so there is a way for Aronson to basically tap that yellow out between the two blues and sit four. Um, and that seems to be where Halleck has the broom positioned. So the broom's down for looks like a control weight takeout. As we'll see the first of two skip stones coming from Sean Aronson without the hammer here in the first end. This needs to come back. They're trying to push it over, and I think it's going to make contact, and just enough to push that yellow to the back 12 foot. So mission accomplished. Maybe a little harder to make that shot than it could have been with Sean's first, but the job is done, and the takeout is accomplished. So Aronson's sitting two, one, two, and four, and Murray has a single stone in the back 12, counting for third if the end were to conclude right now. So it looks like Murray's going to try and draw to the 4 foot, maybe buried in the top 4 foot. As we see Murray's first rock, looking to draw. They have a possible plan B if it taps the guard up, but they don't want to crash on the guard. It looks pretty close. It's a little light as they're sweeping to really hold the line and the weight, and it's going to settle into the top 12 foot. So they wanted another 2 feet there. I think biting the top four was the call. So just a little light from Murray, but a solid effort to start. So looking at the broom, it looks like with Aronson sitting two, they're going to put another rock in the top of the rings and make it harder for Murray to get access to the house. That's my guess. As we see the last rock without the hammer coming from Sean Aronson. Looking to just put up a front stone. You don't want to go too deep and provide some backing for Murray. And this looks like it might provide the backing that Aronson may not want, but it does put a third counter into the ring, so that's ultimately, I think, a good shot. It does offer an out for Murray. Not too much of an out though, actually. So he can't hit it out, and he can't draw down to it because it's too deep. So I think ultimately that was a good shot for Aronson. So facing three blue Aronson rocks in the rings, this is Sean Murray's last. A draw for a single. Should also be a nose hit. Um, Looking at the weight, this looks to be a nose hit for one. And they're just cleaning. Oh, this is a draw. It's not a hit. And it needs to sit down. It's going to be close. And Halleck is sweeping it, but it does park in time in the back 4 foot for that single point. So that was a tough start for Murray, but he does salvage a single point at the conclusion of the end to take a 1-0 lead over Team Aronson. But kudos to Team Aronson for forcing Murray to that single point. So Aronson's going to have the hammer when we come back to our ongoing coverage of the 2025 MoPac Championships presented by curling.gg. And ongoing coverage of our event is being brought to you by doubletakeout.com. Throughout the competitive curling season, proprietor Ken Pomeroy updates doubletakeout.com with the latest stats and information about the top men's and women's teams from around the world and creates a custom ranking based on his own algorithm. Doubletakeout.com. And by curling.gg. For stips and curlers who love a good game, curling.gg is your ultimate practice tool. Free, easy, and all about strategy. Visit curling.gg to test your skills right. Meow. And by Endgame Curling. Endgame Curling is the manufacturer of two brooms, including the Endgame Origin and the Endgame Icon, elevating the standard for high performance brooms at endgamecurling.com. So it looks like rocks are in play, and we are underway here in the second end as Eric Kowal has thrown a rock into the rings. Going to settle in right near the tee line. And so it looks like Aronson is going to ask Joel Calhoun to bop it out. Going for the out turn rotation, the counterclockwise rotation to take it out. And that shot is made. So as we are in the second end, I will update the scoreboard accordingly. And let's chat about the games on the ice in just a moment. Before we do, just to let you know that this end is being brought to you by curling.gg. As we mentioned, curling.gg offers an opportunity for players to take a photo of a confusing shot on the ice, recreate it on curling.gg, and try multiple outcomes. That's the only platform that lets you take a shot, undo it, and try again. Curling.gg. And that return hit by Eric was made. And so it looks like Joel's going to return the favor with another hit of his own. This looks close, but it will make contact, and the shooter's going to stick around on the edge of the button, it appears. Looks like a pretty good shot. It's above the tee line as Adam Endicott is going to try to bop it out himself. And that looks pretty close with the in-turn clockwise rotation. Hit successful, and the shooter's going to roll to the side. So we could see a blank here as teams are playing fairly quickly. Although it looks like Aronson's choosing to ignore that stone on the wing and asking Kevin Maloney to draw toward the button. This could potentially be dangerous in terms of maybe. No, I take that back. He is going to try to hit. It was just a little softer hit than I was expecting. So that looks solid as the stone in the house goes away, and the shooter's going to roll to the back 8. So as I was saying, there could be a blank in the offing as Murray is positioning Adam Endicott for a takeout. So while that shot's away, let's chat briefly about the other games on the ice. We have all 5 sheets in play as Endicott made that hit. And it looks like Halleck is, sorry, 1 second. Yep, it's Maloney's shot. So Kevin Maloney is going to return the favor with another hit of his own. So while that is underway, let's go over the games on the ice. 5 sheets in play this game. On sheet A, Team Meyer of SFBACC is up 1-0 over Team Gilbert from Oval Curling. Sheet B is our feature sheet where we have Team Murray of Coyotes forced to a signal in 1 over Team Aronson of Coyotes. Murray up 1-0. On sheet C, we have Team Tate of Coyotes, the other Sean in terms of the skip. He's up 3-0 over Team Campbell of Coyotes. And on sheet D and E, 2 women's games as Michael Siggins makes the takeouts. Sheet D, we have Team Thankdarai up 1-0 over Team Walsh. Both of those teams are from the Bay Area. It's a Bay Area bout. And then on sheet E, we had a blank in the first end. Team Aubrey had the hammer and blanked the end, choosing to carry the hammer to the second. They're up. There's no score. Aubrey, pardon me, Aubrey versus Aces. Aubrey from Coyotes and Aces from Silicon Valley. So the hit parade continues as Jason Halleck for Team Aronson traded hits with Siggins, and so we're going to see Siggins throw another hit. And it's just happening so quickly, I didn't bother to change camera views. I apologize. And so that's going to be a close to a nose hit, a slight roll outside. So there was one draw this end, and that was from Eric into the range, and every shot since then has been takeouts as Siggins makes his hit. So we're going to see Jason Halleck see if he can provide some firepower of his own. And this also helps to save time. Teams have not been tight on time this game. There's going to be a hit and a roll across the rings to the back 12 foot where it sits down. So it definitely gives Murray a different position to worry about as play kind of had been drawn to the left side of the sheet, and now it's on the right side or the bottom side from this view. Murray was quickly back to the hack, ready for his first without the hammer. You can see they have hardly used any time at all with those clocks in the background. They started at 30, and so near the end of 2 ends, they've used around 5 minutes. Let's see if this shot will pay off for Murray. It does. A nose hit, and we'll stick around for a shot in the back. And so we see Sean Aronson head down the ice where he is looking to execute the takeout. So teams start at 30 minutes, and then the clock starts when their turn begins, and it stops right now as the person throwing the rock starts their delivery. So looking for an intern takeout. Definitely, I think he wants to stick around if he can, just to kind of make it slightly more challenging for Murray. And this is going to pop it and just roll slightly inside. So another intern takeout was made. So this was the hit parade end, pardon me, and maybe Dick Clark's top 40 or Ryan Seacrest's top 40 as Murray quickly throws his stone and has just has used less than 3 minutes per end as we will switch views and that rolls away. So the shot's made, but it is basically going to set Aronson up for a blank by just throwing through the rings. So for those people scoring at home, you don't score a throw through. Um, I don't know who else might be scoring these games, but I'm doing it for fun. I don't always score every shot, but I do my best, and hopefully the information is useful. So after 14 takeout shots, we're going to see the 16th shot be a throw through the rings to blank the end and carry the hammer to the third with a chance to score multiple points. As we see it, say sayonara, and they stop the rock because both teams acknowledge it's going to go through the house out of play. Um, that can be controversial at times if the other team was not in agreement, but in this case they were. So a blank end to start the to end the second end. So Murray is still up 1-0, but Aronson carries the hammer to the third end, and we will catch that in just a moment as our coverage continues from the 2025 doubletakeout.com MoPac Championships. Live streaming of this and other regional competitions is powered by the clubs and hundreds of members of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association. Our mission serves to grow curling and foster competition in Arizona, California, Idaho, Nevada, Oregon, and Utah. Visit mopacca.org today to find a curling club near you or for help getting a club started in your community. So Eric is throwing the first rock for Aronson in this third end. Eric's been curling for 10 plus years. He's an avid winged shooter, and primarily ducks and quail, and he's the Coel in Coaluska. And Coaluska is a business that creates, I guess, bespoke merchandise inspired by the era of aviation. So some kind of like streamline art. It's kind of fascinating. As Eric puts a, that was not Eric. That was yes, that was Eric. Sorry, guys. He makes the guard. Now we're gonna see Joel Calhoun. Joel's been curling for 12 years. Has appearances at the MoPac Club Playdowns, and this is a centerline guard, so they're going to stop the rocks because that is a no-tit rule violation, which is an extension of the free guard zone rule, where for both the free guard and the no-tit, you cannot remove an opponent's stone from the guard zone until after the fifth rock at the end. For the no-tit rule, you can't dislodge the opponent's stone off the center line until after the fifth rock at the end. Otherwise, it's a foul, and we saw what happened there. Um, the non-offending team can remove the offending rock and reset the original stone, or they can let the rocks play out as they stopped. And in this case, they opted to stop the stone and reset, as it were. As Eric is going to draw around with his second stone. That's pretty buried. And looks like Aronson's asking Joel to attempt the draw around again. A little bit more weight. There's some backing, so they could tap the shot stone back in the house. clears the guard easily and is going to settle in on top of the shot stone, taps the shot stone back slightly undercover, and so it looks like Murray's going to try to do a similar shots to what Calhoun just threw. He put his hand on his knee. I'm not quite sure what weight call that is. Uh, Different teams have different methods of indicating how hard the person throwing the stone should deliver the rock, and that's a new position for me. Um, as we see Adam Endicott with his first, looking to kind of tap out the blue and roll towards the center, and that shot was made. That's a beauty there from Endicott. Um, does create some angles to attack those rocks in the rings, and Aronson's basically saying, "Hey, we're just going to peel the guard here." As Kevin Maloney delivers, he's been curling for 11 years. He has appearances at the U.S. 5 and Under National Championships in 2020 and 2019. As looks like they're going to run the guard into the rings, just rid of one of the shot stones, and then the shooter's going to, sorry, the yellow that got ran into the rings rolls wide to the edge of the 8 foot. So Murray doesn't have the handle, so he's trying to maintain control of the center of the house and the front of the playing area if he can. As Endicott delivers his rock, he's been curling for 14 years. Was a MoPac champion in 2022, playing lead. As this end is being brought to you by doubletakeout.com. And this is going to get around. Oh, it just ticks off of the shot stone and rolls wide towards the bottom, wide left. And so it does give Aronson an opportunity to maybe hit and roll under the shot stone. That's what he's looking at. Uh, Try to see what other shots he might take. He could try to hit the yellow on the top or the right, but I don't think it gets him too much. And he could try to save that for later. Um, he's definitely going to do the hit and roll as the broom is down. For Maloney's second stone, this is coming back okay. Let's see if it's going to get much roll. And it rolls actually a little outside. So it looks like Murray is going to try to trade the hit and roll back and forth as Michael Siggins gets set. Michael, by the way, asked me to let Ashley and Nora know that he's saying hi. It's his family watching, hopefully, as we see his shot. So hits and it sticks. It's good for second shot. So yeah, Michael says hi to Ashley and Nora. And then some of the other players said, "Oh, I guess I should say hi to my family too." So any family members that have not been mentioned, I'm sure the other players say hi to as well. Um, that hit was made, and it looks like the shot selection is pretty straightforward now as Jason Halleck throws his first rock, looking for a hit and roll. Jason's been curling for 10 years, as we're going to see a hit and a slight roll towards the center. So that was a positive outcome, although it looks like Murray is going to hit and roll slightly, asking for that knee weight again. I don't think it's hacked. but I'm curious to see what weight it is. Well, let's see where this rock ends up as they're talking about where they wanted the rock to end up. So I think ideally he wants to hit on the inside, but a nose hit's okay. Um, he could be asking for hack weight and just doesn't go all the way to his foot. Hack weight is usually you kind of tap your foot to indicate that you want hack weight because that's where your feet start. Um, because curling is a very sophisticated sport. So he was okay with the nose hit. I think the little roll's not too bad either. But we do have the nose hit, and then the shooter's going to roll a little to the outside, and the blue stone goes sayonara as we see the situation in the rings. Adam Endicott is the vice for Murray, so looks like the rock is away as I was yapping. So you can see Endicott back talking with Murray. Looking to hit and roll. This looks close. It's another nose hit. So I think Murray would be happy with another nose hit. Just trade the nose hits back and forth. The slight roll is not too bad either. Just to prevent an easy draw to the button. Um, Aronson could have a tight draw on the right side or the top side from this view. So this is probably the most aggressive hitting team game I've seen so far this tournament, which is fun to watch. While he's talking about the shot, this end is being brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. As I mentioned, Tim Pomeroy uh, updates his site after major curling events and creates a custom ranking of the top men's and women's teams from around the world. You can filter based on team by nationality. It's a pretty interesting to check out. DoubleTakeout.com. So the broom is down, looking for a hit and a slight roll, especially based on where Endicott has the broom. When you're throwing up weight on this ice, you're not seeing as much curl as a draw. As Sean Murray gets set, Sean's been curling for 23 years. Has appearances at the well, he was the 2022 MoPac and national champion as a fifth player. And let's switch views. It does hit and it does roll, but it rolls under and through the other side. So it does create a double takeout opportunity for Sean Aronson. Not a bad shot, though. Um, it's tricky to throw takeouts, and especially hit and rolls. But the primary objective was to take out that blue Aronson stone, and that mission was accomplished. So they're looking to line up a double. As we see the situation from the over-the-shoulder camera. Looking to hit, I think the outside of that top yellow, and try to double those stones out. As Sean Aronson gets set in the hat, he's been curling for 8 years. He's been to Club Playdowns here at MoPac for 7 years. Was the runner-up in 2018 and 2023, and went to Club Nationals in 2023. That's 2 years ago. Looking to see how far we can move some granite here, and it looks pretty good. Starting to clip the yellow onto the other yellow and get both of those two yellows moving, and get them both out. So that appears to be a double takeout. Brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. Um, they're taking a close look at it. Maybe it's not a complete double takeout, so I would still bring it to you by doubletakeout.com. I think it counts. Uh, Even though I guess it's technically just a little in, just a little itty bitty in. It's not scoring though, and I don't think it's going to be a factor for the remainder of this end, as Endicott has the broom down for his skip. Murray's experience also includes being a runner-up at the 2024 MoPac Playdowns. Was a 12-time competitor at the Mixed National Championships, winning medals 6 times. That's 2 silver and 4 bronze. He also has the nickname Angry Bird, which was given to him many years ago. And let's see what happens here. Looking to pop out the blue, it does. The shooter's going to stick around. So there are 2 Murray yellows in the rings, and there would be a double there, but I don't think there'd be an easy way to make sure the shooter goes away. So they're looking to, I think, just hit the yellow stone that's on the Ohlone word as part of this is Ohlone lands. And just a nose hit for a single point. So uh, some pretty good action so far early in this game. Uh, Trading hits back and forth and then kind of forcing the other guys to make the tough shots. As we see Aronson deliver his rock with a dramatic pan zoom. Uh, Last rock here in the third end. A takeout for 1. This looks pretty close to being on the money. It's maybe a little outside, and so it's going to roll a little too wide out of play. So it's going to be a steal of 1 for Murray. It's kind of the danger of doing those types of shots. But usually, if you're a top flight skip, you usually have those types of shots in your pocket. Uh, just a slight miss there from Aronson, and that leads to a steal of 1 for Murray. So another pause in the action. We'll be right back as our coverage continues from the 2025 doubletakeout.com MoPac Championships, coming to you live from Oakland, California. As we're about ready to get underway with this fourth end, the people at this great curling club, the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club, gave me a little rundown of the upcoming curling tournaments known as Spiels, happening at the Oakland Area Club. That includes next month's California Curling Classic from February 21 through 23. There are 4 teams remaining and a 5-game guarantee for the event. The caveat is that you need to be a California-based team. As we see Eric Cowell's first rock, looks like it's going to go through the house out of, oh, it sits down, but it's going to go out of play. So that is the California Curling Classic. Another event coming up is the Oaktown 5 and Under for players of 5 years of experience or less, as we see Joel Calhoun deliver. Uh, he's been curling for 12 years, was the MoPac Playdown champion in 17, 23, and 24. And I'm going to, looks like they're setting up a corner guard, which makes a ton of sense. And also to let you know that this end is being brought to you by Endgame Curling, elevating the standard for high performance brooms, endgamecurling.com. So that corner guard is up, and it looks like Eric is being asked to draw again, I think to put up a center guard. Uh, Eric's been curling for 10 plus years, was the national champion at the club level in 2019. And it looks like Eric's guard curls past the center and sets up still a guard and not a bad place. So looks like Aronson is trying to ask Calhoun to draw around. Other top curling appearances for Calhoun includes the 2024 Club Nationals. Um, also finished as fourth place in the 2023 and the 2018 Club National events. So this rock looks like it might wick off of the yellow, and it does. It's going to spin into the top of the ring, so not a bad outcome. It is exposed though. So now drawing play into the rings, we're going to see Adam Endicott's first stone. He was once president of a juggling club and can still juggle 4 objects at once, probably. And let's see how he can juggle 2 objects, this stone and the blue Aronson stone he wants to hit, and he does so. Takeout is accomplished. And very quickly we see Kevin Maloney with his first rock of this end. Kevin's been curling for 11 years. Was at the 5 and Under National Championships in 2020 and 2019. I may have said that before, but hopefully you guys don't mind if I say it again. This is just a smidge heavy and gonna slip to the back 8-foot ring. It's good for shots, so it looks like Murray is looking at taking a crack at it using control weights. As Endicott delivers. This looks to be pretty close. And it does kiss the blue in the back, and both those stones go away, the shot stone and the shooter. So it is now Murray sitting shots in the top 12-foot ring where it says the I and Black Lives Matter. So it looks like Maloney is being asked to draw around those corner guards. That's what they're there for. So in addition to the California Curling Classic and the O-Town 5 and Under, the O-Town 5 and Under, I don't think I fully mentioned, that is set for February 7th through the 9th. There are many team spots remaining for non-club teams, so if you're not a member of the San Francisco Club, you're invited to join. And then coming up in May and June, uh, just also recapping the action really quick from Maloney, that draw was partially made, I would say. It's exposed. And so the room is down 4 seconds to tap it out. So other events include the U.S. Women's Curling Association All-American One-Day Spiel. It's a one-day event and will take place on May 10th, featuring 3-person teams, and 2 of the players should identify as women. And that hit is made, and we see a bit of a roll towards the guard or the front stone on the left. So Aronson's going to take it on. So when you have 3-person teams and only 2 of the members have to identify as women, that leaves an opening for non-women to play or men. Just something to keep in mind because it sounds like it could be a fun event. And then coming up in June, San Francisco is going to hold the Ball Bonspiel, supporting LGBTQ. As we see this ruck from Halleck, it takes out the top front stone, and the shooter is going to roll toward the center to be second shots. So that looks pretty good there from Halleck. So the Ball Bonspiel is set for June 20 and 22nd, and registration for both the USWCA and the Ball are set for March 3rd. As we see Cygnus' next rock, looking to hit and make sure you don't hit your own stone. Uh, oh man, that's I think a slight miss there from Cygnus. um, as it does not take out the blue stone. He managed to not hit the yellow stone in the rings, which is good. However, that yellow stone is now exposed, and the blue stone is sticking around the edge of the 8 foot. It's not counting right now, but it likely will be in the next 30 seconds as Halleck is getting set for a takeout, and I think a little. I think a nose hit's fine, or a take. I'm trying to see if they want to roll, or just a nose hit would be fine as well. Uh, that looks pretty good. There's been a nose hit. So Jason has been to Club National Playdowns for many years, starting in 2017 and off and on through this year. Also went to the 500 Nationals in 2019-2020 and was the MoPac 500 champion in 2019. So the broom is down for Sean Murray, looking for a hit, and he wants a roll. This situation, as I kind of alluded to, is going to be tricky for Murray, but really sets things up okay for Aronson. Aronson has an opportunity here. As we look at the overhead, uh, Murray would like to hit and roll under cover, and that way it's going to be hard for Aronson to bring that other blue in the bottom of the view into play. However, if Murray is a little unlucky or misses, then Aronson has a chance for two. As Murray's first rock is away, looking for a little takeout and a little roll. Uh, this is going to roll, but it's going to roll wide, and it's going to roll a little too far in his now second shot. So that is the unfortunately the wrong way to miss, I would say. The takeout is made, but it doesn't fully improve the situation. So um, if all Aronson wants is two, it might be good just to hit it out or draw to it. I mean, they're kind of indicating what the possible shots could be. Um, like draw down under the cover, or like draw to the other side. Um, and it looks like they do want to draw under cover because that stone on the left side is not a factor right now. So if they draw, I was thinking they could draw to be shot like open on the left side and then like really force Murray to just pop it out. But I guess also maybe they don't want to set up a. There's not a double situation. In any case, the broom is down for Aronson. He asked for a slightly different path. I don't see where Halleck moved the broom to. But Aronson, as I mentioned, has been to several club playdowns and also club nationals in 2023. Was also the MoPac 500 champion in 2019 as well as 2022. And he's looking to draw around the cover there. And this looks pretty good with the intern rotation. And it's gonna needs. Ooh. Oh, that complicates things. They needed another foot, and they didn't. So it's solidly in the 12-foot ring. And That was a missed opportunity there for Aronson, and I was gonna ask if Murray could pop out the blue stone that is furthest outside, but when you look at it on the head-on view, it's not accessible. Um, they're looking at maybe slashing, but this is dangerous for Murray because they need to find a place to put their stone and to hopefully steal or only hold Aronson to a single. And there's not too many places to hide. So I think they initially looked at drawing, and now I think they're looking at a slightly challenging shot. I think they want to double the blues out, and that's why Endicott's taking a really close look at the angles as he moves around the top blue, close to the center line. Um, you can see him walking around. He's chosen. I think they want to hit um, pretty close to center. And this is a tricky shot. I think also, like in terms of risk and reward, if he misses, it's unlikely that Murray's going to give up more than two, and that might be the math in this equation. Where it looks to be close, it crashes on the guard. Oh my gosh! Uh, and I said that it's unlikely that Murray's going to give up more than two, but here is Sean Aronson with a chance for three. As I think the rock was just too tight out of hands, and just crashes on those guards in the front and just drags those guard rods into the rings and ends up in a bit of a disaster for Murray as there's only single Murray rock in the rings and that's third rock. So Aronson sitting two has a pretty straightforward draw for three. So just like that, that's how the end changes. And here is Sean Aronson holding two in the hand, looking for a third in the bush with his last rock here, looking for the intern draw for three. Let me show you what I'm seeing. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully, you'll check out our upcoming broadcasts as they sweep. And is it enough to get that third point? And it's going to be super close. I think it's there, but it never hurts to take a measure if they need to. It's definitely two Aronson Blues, so they're moving those out of the way. And they are calling for a measure, it looks like. Yep. So we're going to see the most exciting measure in all of sports. It's the pressure gauge from uh, the measuring device. It's always fun to watch. Uh, fun to watch and behold. uh, it's just one of those fun things about the game. As we see the one of the ice officials head out on the ice. I believe it's an ice official. As he goes down to get the measuring device. Let's take a look again at the rings. Maybe if people are watching in the YouTube chat, maybe you can chime in about who they think might be shot. And from this view, I'm gonna say it looks blue. And the reason I say it looks blue is if you look, like both of those stones are right on the L, uh, the yellow stone and the L in black, and then the blue stone and the L in lives. And so if you look at the L's, uh, it looks like blue has the advantage, and then yellow will take the L. Unfortunately, just going for the wordplay joke. Still plenty of game to play. But that's why I think it leans blue. But we will see what the ice official thinks as he is cooling it on the ice with the pressure gauge. This measure is possible really only because we have a fixed point of reference to measure against, and that is the pin in the center of the house. And then what the ice official is going to do is he's going to come out, put the one end of the device in the pin. And I know people who are diehard curlers know all this, but some people are new, so that's why I like to explain it. As some of the team members are just kind of watching from the warm room. Let's see.
I love you, Kimber.
Let's see it one more time.
I love you, Kimber.
And that was Eric there. We're going to see the measure come down. So both devices are looking at it, and we can't see the dial. If we had like made a zoom, we could maybe tune it in. But I think it looked blue. But we will see here. This is the moment of truth. And yeah, they're pointing to blue. So all right. So it is a score 3-4 Team Aronson. So just a tricky shot from Murray. Uh, Allows Aronson to jump to a 3-2 lead. And with that business concluded, we are at the fourth end break. It's a 5 minute timeout, as it were. The teams take a moment to do some refreshment and do other business. And so while they do that, we're going to take a pause as well. But before we continue, to let everyone know that our coverage of the 2025 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships is being brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com, ranking the top men's and women's teams from around the world at DoubleTakeout.com, and by curling.gg. Test your stip skills against your friends online at curling.gg, free online curling platform with real physics simulation. And by Endgame Curling, manufacturers of the Endgame travel handle, bring your curling broom on the road with ease. Endgamecurling.com. So we are here at the half end break. And so as we do, we're going to take a pause and we'll show you some action from around the ring. So we'll be back in about 3 minutes. rocks in play. We are underway here in the fifth end where we saw um, a pretty close fought battle between Team Aronson and Team Murray. And Murray had a couple singles um, in the first and third ends, and then Aronson jumped up with a three spot in the fourth end. Um, I think part of that was facilitated by the fact that Murray threw some heat to try to double out Aronson's blues in the reins, and unfortunately missed. And that set up a situation where Aronson could draw for three, and that's what happened. As we see Eric Kowal's draw around, that looked really nice. As we see Calhoun's first rock was a centerish guard, not on the center line, but definitely solid for full marks. Points for Gryffindor. And it looks like Calhoun's going to draw around from the intern clockwise rotation. Actually, this is going to be a guard. And now we have staggered guards there. And that one is on the center line, so that cannot be ticked off the center line until after the fifth rock to the end. So Eric is being asked to draw around again. And this end of coverage is being brought to you by curling.gg. And this looks pretty good. They need to, I think they want to make sure it gets into the, oh, it's not going to get into the rings. That settles in as a tight guard. So the fifth rock to the end is over. So I thought they wanted to go in, but as a front stone, it's not too bad. As we now see the first rock coming from Kevin Maloney for Aronson. This looks like it's hanging out a little wide. It's coming in pretty nicely, but it's not going to come in enough as Murray escorts it to the back of the premises. So a little deep. It's still in play, and it is buried. So as Murray is asking for a draw from Adam Endicott, let's take a quick trip around the rings. We saw some of the action during the break, but let me update you on some of the scores as Adam's shot is away here. Looking for the intern draw. So taking a trip around the rings on sheet A. Team Meyer has been in firm control of the game, up 6-0 over Team Gilbert from the Oval Curling. Sheet B is our feature sheet. As we mentioned, Aronson of Coyotes had a draw for 3 and 4 to take a 3-2 lead over Team Murray. That's a Coyotes clash. And then we also have another Coyotes clash over on sheet C, where Team Tate is up 5-1 over Team Campbell. We have two women's games on the ice this draw. On sheet D, we have Thing to Derive of San Francisco up 4-1 over Team Walsh, who also hails from the San Francisco club. And then on sheet E, Team Aubrey of Coyotes is up 3-2 over Team Aces. And Aces hails from Silicon Valley. That brings you up to date on the scores. We are updating the information at bonspieler.com. Look at that draw there from, I'm going to guess that was from Maloney. So that was a really good draw, but it's only good for second shot. So it looks like, um, yeah, that was Maloney's shot there, outturn draw. Looking to peel the guards here. And that does move some of the rocks around. So now the right side is open, and I think it's pretty tempting to try to tap the blue onto the yellow and bump out the yellow, and that is where Sean Aronson has the broom for Jason Halleck, throwing some up weights. Both of these teams are not afraid to throw the high hard ones, which is also today's phrase that pays. No. Uh, and mission accomplished. The yellow is gone, and Aronson is sitting three. So that was a great shot there from Halleck. And now Mike Stiggins is being asked to respond with a hit, and I would assume a bit of a roll. Not going to see too much of a roll. It might roll a little toward the outside of Ashling noses. Jams on the back, but it does tap the blue in the back a little further as the one of the blues rolls away. So that looks like a well-made shot there from Sidians. Broom is down to for Halleck to hit it out. A very similar shot to his last. And it's going to jam the yellow on the back blue. So a slight miss there from Halleck. It does improve the situation, but now it also opens the door slightly for Sean Murray, who has the broom down for Signus to, I think, attempt to hit and roll again, as Signus' shot is away. Looks kind of similar to his last one, where it's going to nose, and actually this one rolls wide through the house out of play. So takeout is successful, but the shooter is gone. And so now Aronson is going to, I think, draw under cover, kind of ignoring that Murray Stone in the back 12. I think it's a interesting situation because by leaving that Murray Stone in, there's a chance that it could come into play uh, at the end of the round. So looking for a draw. Undercover, this is Sean Aronson's first without the hammer here in the fifth. This looks pretty good. It's tight to the guard, and it is around the guard. It's another going to bury it as deep as they can, and it's going to end up in the top 8 foot ring. So Murray is going to look to hit and roll off of the shot stone blue that is in between the words "this" and "is" in the phrase "this is Ohlone land." Trying to see what other possibilities there are. Um, I don't know if there's. I don't think they're thinking of drawing. Although if the draw is missed, they're also considering maybe. I think they consider maybe raising the blue onto yellow onto blue. Um, but I think the hit and roll seems to be the stronger shot. Also gets rid of the Aronson stone that's counting. So the broom's down for a hit and roll. And this is going to be Sean Murray's chance for a bit of redemption after having a couple tough shots in this last end. And here is Murray's first stone, sinking low to the ice with his delivery. Siggins is was sweeping. Now I think he's cleaning. As we'll see what happens when it makes contact. It hits and it rolls, and it's going to roll too far through the back of the house out of play. So it does get rid of the counter, and Aronson's sitting two. And so now this is a situation where I think based on where the broom is set up, Aronson's going to want to bop out the yellow in the back. Just to prevent Murray from having any chance to score multiple points in this end. That makes a lot of sense to me. It gets the broadcaster's stamp of approval. So the broom's down for a takeout as Aronson gets set for his last rock without the hammer here in the fifth end, holding a 1 point lead. And we saw Aronson take 3 points in the last end, but it is still only a 1 point game. I think I needed to remind myself of that as we see his last rock go down the way. Those are some pretty neon shoes there. Sweepers are on it, looking to hold the line, and I think four weights. Looks pretty good. So now they're just cleaning, and it is going to bop the yellow out. And so now Aronson is sitting two, and the best option for Murray is to do a draw. He has a little bit of backing um, if he needed it, but the way the broom is positioned, I don't think he's going to take it. Um, and I don't think he's set up for a hit. The hit on the back, I don't think is viable. Actually, if he does hit the back, it's not too bad. But I'm a lead. I like to draw. That's what I think he should do here. But this is his last shot. Looks pretty close for the hit, like a soft weight hit, as we see it come down the way here. He could be using the backing as it does settle. It looks pretty close. Halleck's going to give it a bit of a polish, but it is enough for the single point. So well done there from Sean Murray to get a single point. But also kudos to Team Aronson for forcing Murray to that single point. So we're all square here, and Team Aronson will have the hammer when we come back to the 2025 MoPac Championships presented by Curling.gg. If you or your business would like to become a sponsor for MoPac, our competitions, or our live streaming service, visit mopacca.org and click on the contact link on the right-hand side of the page. And we definitely appreciate our current sponsors, including our presenting sponsors, or title sponsors, pardon me. That would be doubletakeout.com as well as curling.gg. The proprietors of those sites are also devoted curlers in our region, and we definitely appreciate their support, as well as the support of Endgame Curling, manufacturers of curling brooms in the U.S. of A. So Eric Cowell's first rock is away here in the sixth end, and it's a tie game. And Aronson might have a slight advantage because he has the hammer in the even ends, and there's only three ends remaining. So he has two opportunities to score with a hammer if teams score with a hammer. So Aronson can score in six and eight, and then Murray would have the hammer in seven. And of course, this all depends on teams, converting with the hammer when they have it, and that doesn't always happen. As Cole put up a good corner guard there, and it looks like Joel Calhoun was asked to put up a corner guard. Maybe a little hot. No, not too hot at all. It's going to slow down and settle in as a solid corner guard, kind of over the 8 foot area in the house. So very quickly, Eric is back with an attempt to draw around. And sweepers are on it. This might curl back on top of the guard. Could also be staggered center guards, as we see Murray jump on to help. So this was a draw around, and that draw around was made. And oh, look at that! That's a beauty there from Eric Cowell. And got distracted by watching some of the action on the other sheet, just because um, my home club is being represented by Team Gilbert, so just fascinated to see how they're doing. They're on the board. They put up a two spot in five, but they have some work to do to stay alive in the hunt for a playoff spot. On our feature sheets, Team Aronson had Calhoun draw around the corner guard, so two guards and two perfect draw rounds. It's almost as if they've been here before. So for Murray, it looks like I think he's going to try and put up another center guard from Adam Endicott, as we'll watch his delivery. Now it looks pretty good. Wade seems close, as Murray is saying no sweep, and if it runs the guard back, that's not too bad. But you also don't want to totally dislodge the guard, and it's not going to. It's going to settle in along the center line, so you have some staggered offset guards down the center. The five rock rule is over, so Aronson can choose to start peeling guards if he wants. Um, and it seems to be maybe a good start to open up the middle. He's effectively used the corner guards, and so now there's one rock that can count on the wings, and so that's why he's now electing to peel. Uh, we see Kevin Maloney's first rock. And this looks pretty close to peel one of the yellows, and that shot is made. Our broadcast positions near the concession area for the club, and this people are about to indulge in a beverage. As we see Adam Endicott's next stone. So looking to draw to put up a front stone, it looks like, with the outturn counterclockwise rotation, and that looks pretty close to being made. Although I think it might challenge Aronson to attempt a double takeout. And that indeed is what is coming to pass. It's almost like I've been here before. As Kevin Maloney gets set. Looks pretty close. Gets one, and then the shooter's going to roll out of play. So not a bad takeout. And coverage of this end is being brought to you by doubletakeout.com. The broom's down for Murray to draw again to put another front stone up. Going for the out turn rotation. And that's counterclockwise. So the out turn and in turn are based on a right-handed person throwing the rock and how their elbow rotates. Um, so this just crashes on the guard. It kind of comes back a little bit late, but there is a very slender port. I don't think the port is big enough really for Aronson to take on, although sometimes they prove me wrong. So it looks like Aronson's going to peel the guard as Jason Halleck delivers. Looking for some peel of the corner guards, and it gets one gone. And the shooter's going to stick around as a center guard. So I almost might count that as a miss because he just traded guards essentially. Um, Murray is looking at where to put his next rock. So it looks like he wants to maybe try and draw through the ports. Um, I would also think to maybe put a rock on the other side as Adam Endicott comes down the ice to consider the situation with his skip. Let's take a look from a slightly different view. Um, so that port on the left side does look open, and I think that's what Murray was worried about. And then I would be concerned about maybe drawing on the right side from this view because it's totally open right now for a draw to the forefoot. That shot stone is protected, and so it looks like Murray is looking to draw as the shot's away. That was pretty quick. So want to get through the port. It looks pretty good. Now it's a little up, so now it's a question of where it's going to sit down, and it's going to settle into the. It's going to go through the house out of play. It doesn't settle down at all. So an unfortunate miss there from Siggins. It also showed Aronson the path to the forefoot from that side, if Aronson wished to take it on. Um, the situation in the house right now, as you can see, is Murray sitting one with Aronson having the second shot. So it looks like Aronson wants to peel some of these center guards again. Again, I think trying to trade a multiple point situation for his rink as Halleck gets set. Looking for some peel. And that shot looks better from Halleck to clear the front. Mark that as shot made. So now Murray has shot, but it's exposed. And so the question is, where does Murray go to try to force Aronson to a single or to steal the end? Um, they're looking at maybe drawing to the back four, which seems plausible. Uh, they can't tap the yellow back and be sitting two. And I think that might be why they're looking to draw to the back. Because if they tap the yellow at the top of the 8 foot ring, the uh, the stone that hits the other stone, the first stone that hits, would be outcounted by the blue that's in the back, or the bottom of the house from this view. Um, so I think that's one reason why they're looking to draw. And I guess also if they're a little tight, they could also maybe kind of split the stones closer to the 4 foot. That might be also part of their thinking. So after the team started with oodles of time, they ate up a decent chunk, as Murray has just over 7 minutes to play two ends and one stone after this. So still on target to use his allotment of time. Let me show you that real quick. 7 minutes as Murray's stone is away. This is his first of two skip stones without the hammer. And this rock is okay. I thought they were wanting to draw in, but this is going to be a guard. It looks like it's in a pretty good position. So I don't know if Aronson is going to want to take it on or just maybe try to draw in and set up a skip deuce that way. So it's a pretty interesting setup here as they look at their options, and we do too. If people in the chat have any ideas, feel free to chime in. I definitely appreciate the feedback. So it looks like they might be trying to set up a double, which seems interesting from a risk reward perspective, because if they make it, that's great. The reward is pretty good because then it sets up a definite two. But I don't know how that risk reward ratio compares to just drawing behind all those guards. And then if Murray misses, then you have a draw for two, or depending on if they get lucky, maybe a shot for three. Um, Interesting algebra here as Sean Aronson gets set for his first rock, going for an outturn raise takeout. Looks pretty good, although it might be curling past the face. It clips the yellow in the house and pushes it back to the 12 foot. So after all my questioning, Aronson definitely had a result there. Not quite a full takeout, but looks pretty good. And also, it accomplishes what I was thinking the ideal outcome would be, where um, Aronson sitting one, that Murray stone in the back is not a factor, and I don't think it will come into play unless something bizarre happens. So now Murray is going to draw to try to find a place to hide, and then Aronson will have a chance for two. I'm No, okay. I was saying, why can't they maybe draw down the middle toward and end up on the right side or the bottom side from this view, uh, the right side, but there's not a really good place to put a yellow stone, as we see Murray's last here in the sixth end. Teams also have a timeout, by the way, a timeout during regulation, and if they get to an extra end, they get an extra one. This is coasting. Needs to sit down. It's just a little too hot. It's going to go through the house out of play. So another unfortunate miss there from Murray, and it opens the door for Aronson to score two. So the broom's down, just looking to draw, avoid all that traffic on the 405, which is a SoCal traffic joke for those who may not be aware. Traffic on Interstate 405 is notoriously awful. As we see Sean Aronson with a draw for two to retake the lead here in the sixth end. Looks a little light, especially as Hallett comes out to help. Is it going to get there? They're really pushing it to maximize the distance. It's going to be close as they keep pushing, and it's going to be short by about a foot. So a lot of work for a single point, as Aronson may have pulled the string just a little bit on his intern draw, but it does retake a 4-3 lead over Team Murray. And with that, we'll take a pause in the action and come back in just a moment to the 2025 MoPac Championships presented by Curling.gg. Middle toward and end up on the right side or the bottom. Murray go for Murray. So, well done there from Sean Murray to get a single point. But also kudos to Team Aronson for forcing Murray to that single point. So we're all square here, and Team Aronson will have the hammer when we come back to the 2025 Rodson play. We're underway here in the seventh end, where Team Aronson has retaken a 1 point lead over Team Murray. It's a Coyotes clash here, as we saw Joel Calhoun open with a center-ish guard, not on the center line though, but still in the guard area. As we will see Eric Kowal with his first stone of this seventh end. Murray has the hammer, looking to get two or more to really hopefully amp up the pressure on Aronson as we head into the final phases of our contest tonight, this afternoon. And if you guys are around later this afternoon, we hope you will keep it tuned in to the MoPac YouTube channel as we have two more games this afternoon. Let's look at the over the shoulder, the button camera, just to see what might be happening. I think it could be on the button. Um, they're acting, they're ignoring it for now, so they could be thinking it's a guard. So second shot from Joel Calhoun is going to be a draw around the center guards, the center rocks. And this also will be a center guard. And this one looks to be pretty much on the line. So the no-tick rule is in effect. Murray is wasting no time asking Eric to deliver his next stone, looking to draw around all that traffic on the sevens. So this is looking good for the line, but where is it at for the weight? As Siggins pushes it to the back 8 foot, about 40% covered. So Aronson could try to make a play on it, and that's where he has the broom set up for. That was a decent draw from Kowal. As we see Kevin Maloney push out of the hack. Looks like Maloney's been pretty solid on his takeouts, but when he's been asked to draw, it's been a little hit or miss. No pun intended. But this hit is there. The shooter's going to stick around in the back 12 foot. So that was a good takeout there from Maloney. And so it looks like Murray's going to ask Vice Adam Endicott to draw a round, kind of follow the lead's steps, as it were, to the button. So the end game scenario for Murray is to score 2 or 3 points here. If they're tied, they would need to steal the last end. Um, this one's coming up a little light, and it's not going to get there for shots. It does help maintain control of the top of the rings. Just a little light there. So after a lot of attempts to draw on the left side, we're going to have Aronson and Kevin Maloney draw on the other side. So there's some reports, not on our feature sheet, but apparently a stopwatch fell apart on the ice on a different sheet. So that rock crashes off of the center yellow and rolls in for shots. And so now it might give Murray a chance to hit and roll in. That's where he has the broom set up for. So looking to hit and roll with Endicott second here. This is going to roll outside. It's going to roll too far out of play, but the takeout was made. And Aronson's taking a look around the rings to see who was shot. It still appears to be Aronson in the back. So Sean Aronson's looking to dial up a draw on the right wing or the top wing as Halleck delivers. This weight looks pretty good. And it's going to sit down in the 12-foot ring in his shots. So that was, I think, a good adjustment by Maloney. His first one of his stones crashed. No, that was a takeout. That was Halleck. That was Halleck's shot. That was a good shot from Halleck. Sorry, keeping track of the shots. Murray has the broom down for a draw. Looking for it from Mike Siggins. Basically, follow Halleck down the same path or a similar path. And Eric working to keep it straight, and Endicott pitching in to help with the weight there. And it looks pretty close. It's around that guard just barely. It's going to settle in the back 4 foot. So that was a great shot there from Siggins. So after working on the bottom half of the sheet, play has shifted to the other side. It's kind of fascinating to watch as we see Halleck's net stone head down the way. This seems to be a slightly upweight draw. Let me show you what I'm seeing. Uh, Actually, it seems to be similar weight to, well, it seems like a little bit more weight than Siggins' first, but it's sitting down really nicely on top of that yellow stone in the back four. That is shot, and it's going to be tricky for Murray to pluck it out. So that was a good response from Jason Halleck. Aronson sitting one, partially buried, and it looks like they're going to try and do a kind of follow the leader, as it were, as Siggins delivers his shots. Uh, Coverage of this end is being brought to you by Endgame Curling. And this rock is going to end up being a little heavy and go on the blue in the back and roll to the edge of the 12-foot ring. So slight miss from Siggins as it was a little up weight. Tricky situation developing for Murray, who is looking to score multiple points here in this seventh end as he's running out of time. And then for Aronson, looking to really kind of capitalize on their lead and maybe build on that if they can. As we are to skip stones. And Team Aronson has dialed up a draw for their skip Sean. And there's two Seans in the field, both skips here today. So I definitely will try to use your last names as we see Aronson's first rock without the hammer underway here. So that's around the top guard, and it looks like it's going to settle in as a front cover. So that's moderately good for Aronson. It definitely, I think, leaves things open towards the center. And there's a draw on that side still. It's not the easiest draw, but um, it's available if Murray needed to take it on. But the shot they're looking to line up is an angle, a raised takeout, which is going to be a little tricky. But as I mentioned before, some of these top skips know how to bring the heat and execute more difficult shots. As we see Sean Murray, his first, he's got the weight. Let's see where it ends up. Uh, he takes out his own stone. He takes out two of his own stones, so it's a reverse double takeout. It does open things up, but it definitely also now sets up Aronson to push for a force or a steal here in the seventh end. So that was a crucial miss there from Murray, throwing a high hard one, and he definitely had the energy to move rocks around, but just a crucial miss there. As we see Aronson, we won't see Aronson. Okay, we're back. This is Aronson's last without the hammer, but they're sitting three right now. We're looking to just muck up the front and really force Murray into a tricky shot for even one. So this looks pretty good as it crashes on the guard. It's going to roll into the rings. So Murray has an out. He can do a heavy draw for a single. He does have backing, and that's where they have the broom. but he's facing three Aronson Blues. So that was a just even crashing on that guard didn't hurt Aronson too much, although he wanted it probably closer to the center of the sheet, or sorry, the center of the house. So the broom is down for Murray. Last rock to draw for one against three. Sidians is sweeping, I think for distance. Now I think looking to push it over a little bit. Weight is close. I think the concern is that it's on the guard, and that is going to be a steal at two. So just another unfortunate miss there from Murray as he gives up a steal at two to Aronson. And Murray has some work to do if they're going to get back into this game, as Team Aronson is up 6-3. As we will take our final break in the action and then bring you the final stanza. Murray has the hammer and some work to do when we come back to the 2025 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships. As Calhoun is getting ready for his delivery, let's go around the rings really quickly to let you guys know how the games are going on the Oakland ice this morning, this afternoon. Uh, Team Meyer of San Francisco Bay Area is up 6-2 over Team Gilbert from Oval Curling of Utah. As Calhoun is putting up a rock into the rings. Trying to bring play into the rings, but Murray's going to ignore that and put up a corner guard. Sheets B is our feature game, as we noted. Aronson stole two to take a 6-3 lead over Team Murray. Both rings are from Coyotes. We have another Coyotes clash on sheet C between the men, as Team Tate is up 7-5 over Team Campbell. A close battle on sheet D, a women's game between Team Thingdadurai and Team Walsh of San Francisco Bay Area. Thingdadurai is up 6-5. It's a 1-point game. I didn't quite see what happened with Cowell's guard attempt, but he was not happy, and the rock was taken out of play, so obviously it was going to be a miss. And so for Calhoun, it looks like they're putting in another rock into the house. That would be my prediction. And then the final game on the ice, another women's bout between Team Aubrey of Coyotes, up 7-2 over Team Aces of Silicon Valley. So, and that rock, I think, may have feathered the stone in the house and ends up being open on the forefoot. And so Cowell is going to try to put up another corner guard. And this one looks better. I wonder if his first shot hogged, if I were to guess. And then we have a corner guard set up. So that was a good recovery for Eric. And Aronson, I think, would try to put up another rock into the rings. That's kind of what he's looking at. There's different strategies when you're up by a decent number without the hammer. You often want to try to minimize scoring opportunities for the other team. But if you're choosing to go into the range, sometimes you just want to stick with that strategy. Um, and that seems to be the case here. Definitely kind of mucks things up and looks to be a little up weight from Kevin Maloney. It taps the shot stone to the back button, so not a bad outcome. A little bit more weight than what Aronson was asking for. And so now, down three, Murray is bringing his shot selection into the rings, kind of answering the challenge that was put up by Aronson with Adam Endicott's first, looking to tap out some of these blues. Looks like it's going to get rid of one, maybe two, just the one, and the shooter's going to roll to the edge of the 8 foot to be second shot. Looks like a pretty good setup. Well, the setup's pretty strong for Aronson as he's sitting two, uh, and Maloney is being asked to peel the Murray guard, and it looks pretty good for the peel. So it peels the yellow guard, and the shooter's going to roll to the side. Does provide a corner for Murray to draw to if he needs it later in the end. So the broom is down for, I think, a draw to replace a corner guard. And this looks like it will cover not too much. Uh, from the head-on view, it looks like it might be protecting some of the path to the Yellowstone on the wing. But from the overhead, you can see that Yellowstone is pretty accessible as Jason Halleck delivers his stone, looking to peel the guard that was just put up. And it's looking pretty good out of hand. And this cleaning as the yellow gets run back onto the blue. So maybe a slight miss there from Halleck on that shot. Um, so now Aronson sitting one on the button, but Murray has shots two and three. So this could be the opportunity that Murray is looking for as Michael Siggins throws his first rock. I think looking to go around or looking to draw in, it appears. Actually, to put the corner guard back up, and this looks like it's going to get a little further over in front of the yellow rock. It looks good from this view. Let's see how it looks from the overhead view, and it definitely does protect one turn. And it looks like Aronson is going to take it on with Halleck's second stone. So Maloney is sweeping the heck out of this, and it's overturning a smidge. It's enough to hit the yellow into the rings, but then the yellow that was on the edge of the 8 foot just kicked back toward the button, or at least one of the yellows. I don't know which one, but it does kick it to the edge of the button, and that is now shot. So Murray is sitting one and three, and Aaron's is sitting second shot. So just a quick it's a quick change of how the end is shifted. Um, as it looks like now Murray's going to take advantage of the corner guard. Weight's a little heavy. Let's see where it sits down. It's going to sit down probably in the back 12, and it does. So that's good for fourth shot. Um, and it may be brought in later in this end. So looks like Aronson's going to try to hit and made some of these yellows go away. I think looking to line up to do a double takeout as Sean Aronson makes his way down the ice for the first of his two skip stones without the hammer. You can see in the background that time is getting tight for Murray. He has 2 minutes for his final two shots. Uh, still not a still an okay amount of time, and they do have their timeout still. So as we see, Sean Aronson's first stone looking to make one or both of the yellows in front of the rings go away. In the front of the rings. So he's going to get one yellow, clips the second yellow, and that second yellow that was shot goes away, and the yellow that ran back is second shot. So kind of changing the end around again. That was a good response by Aronson. So it looks like Murray, they have the hammer, so I think they want to kind of keep things open for a chance for a multiple point score. And Aronson wants to prevent Murray from scoring three or more. And this is going to be a takeout attempt. Um, Murray's had some tricky shots and it had some crucial misses when he's thrown up weight. So it'll be interesting to see how he responds here with his first two skip stones here in the eighth. He's got a good situation developing. He's going to throw some heats, and it looks pretty close to being on target. It's going to, yep. It gets one blue, but that blue jams on the yellow in the back on the way out. It does open up the shot stone, but it does get rid of one of the yellow counters. And so now the most that Murray could score is three. And then for Aronson, I think the easiest thing to do, they've called their timeout. The easiest thing to do is to get rid of one of these Murray stones, and then it's game over. Um, and that does seem to be the shot they've lined up. They did call their timeout as the teams are talking, especially Team Aronson that called the timeout. Um, just a bit unlucky with Murray's shots here. But the Aronson has a chance here. I guess the concern is if he misses, but just make one of them go away would be the simple answer. Especially, they're both kind of lined up. So if he misses one, he will likely get the other. Um, I think you'd also definitely want to hit it on the inside. They're kind of gesturing to kind of. I think they should hit on the inside to make sure that yellow just goes through the house out of play. They might be throwing a kind of a control weight to make sure they can control where the rock kind of travels, how the rock travels down the ice. Um, Definitely sweeping. They do not want to hit on the outside and possibly, well, it's not the end of the world, but I don't think they want to promote the yellow and have both yellows stick around. As long as one yellow goes away, it's going to be game over for Team Murray, and Aronson will secure the win. Um, Maloney is sweeping the draw path, although he's not really on the draw path anymore. Just kind of doing a quick clean. It's important because like even like a hair can disrupt the course of a curling stone. So looking to eliminate one Murray rock for the win. This is Sean Aronson with his last rock without the hammer. He takes a pause, resets, and delivers. Shots away. Looks pretty good from this initial look. And it's going to hit yellow into yellow, and then it goes away. One of the yellows goes away, so Murray is out of stones, and that is the ball game. So make the final Team Aronson 6, Team Murray 3, as teams exchange handshakes. So a pretty interesting game. Murray had some opportunities, but it was kind of forced into making some tough shots. And Aronson saw some benefit, especially with that 3 spot in the fourth end, as well as scoring 2 in the sixth, really to just kind of put the game out of reach for Murray. Sorry, 2 in the seventh. That was a huge steal that really I think shifted the balance of the game. So as the teams prepare to leave the ice, another reminder that our coverage of the 2025 MoPac Championships presented by Curling.gg is brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com, offering a comprehensive ranking of the top men's and women's teams from around the world, updated throughout the competitive curling season at DoubleTakeout.com, and by Curling.gg. For skips and curlers who love a good game, Curling.gg is your ultimate practice tool. And by Endgame Curling, manufacturers of two curling brooms, including the Icon and the Origin, offering eco-friendly fabric replacement, innovative locking sliding position, adjustable pivot resistance, a large radius sliding bar, and quick disconnect broom head. EndgameCurling.com. So as the feature game has wrapped up, let's take a look around the rings to see what games might be in action, and maybe catch the end of one or two of these games. So looks like sheets 1, 2, and 3 are done. Looks like we might have skip stones on sheet 4 and also sheet 5. Looks like sheet 4, a game between Team Walsh and Team Thingdarai. Team Walsh is down 2, but they're sitting 2, and I think Thingdarai is going to want to uh, pick out one of these blues. Let's shift to that right now. Sheet 5 is also a tight game, but I think Sheet 4 might be closer to having a resolution. So popping over to Sheet 4. We have Thingdarai throwing her last rock. So I think we might have a tie developing here, depending on if this shot is made. And it does appear to be so. The shooter's going to roll across the sheet. Ooh. Okay, so that looks like that might be shots. So interesting situation from Thing to Derive. As we see Team Walsh look at the setup here. I think they basically just need to hit one of the yellows on the nose, and that would force a tie. And it looks like on sheet 5, the skip stones have started for teams Aubrey and Team Aces. And it also looks like sheet C is also going. Sheet C is sheet D is called their timeout. Um, I thought C was done. Apologies. As they take their timeout, let's go back to around the rings, where we can see that it's a tied game on sheet C, and the red team, which would be Team Campbell, is sitting shots in a position to steal. So um, all 3 of these games are kind of in their end game, and they're very tight. So uh, let's maybe as we see this shot from Walsh, sorry, this Aubrey. Walsh Aces is down one on sheet five, but they are sitting one right now, maybe two. Um, let's shift to sheet three. Sorry for all the bouncing around. There's just a lot of interesting games as three of these games have reached their end game. So on sheet three, we have Team Campbell with the red rocks facing Team Tate with the yellows. Tate's looking to hit the yellow back onto the red, and that taps the red back. It might not tap it fully open. Sheet C has called their timeout. Uh, Very interesting situation here. Campbell is a tie game, and Campbell is Tate has the hammer. Campbell has the scoring position. So Campbell's looking at the setup here, and they're looking at maybe putting up a blocker. Um, Very interesting. And so it looks like sheet four has they're kicking stones on sheet four as the end is over. Let's see if they posted the score there. And looks like looks like Team Walsh was able to get their tie. So it looks like sheet four is going to the extra end. Let's go back around the rings. Well, let's go to one and see how one is doing. So, oh, sorry, that's sheet one. I need sheet five. Apologies. We're just bouncing around here, folks. So, sheet five. Uh, let's maybe keep an eye on this, where Aces is down one, and they need one to tie, two to win. Um, Looks like it's Aubrey's turn, and looks like they're trying to do an angle shot. This is going to be pretty tricky. Um, on sheet C, let's switch to that as they're about to make their shot. The contest between Campbell and Tate. Campbell needs to steal to tie or to win. Oh, it's a tie game, so a steal to win. Basically, one team is going to score here, and I'm sure Team Campbell wants it to be them, as Campbell gets sets for his last rock. I think looking to put a rock. They're looking for a front stone. If it's a guard, that's I think the ideal. They don't want to create a double opportunity for Tate to take on. As we see this come down, it's a little up weight, so maybe look for a plan B. Although actually these rocks just they seem to coast and then just hit the brakes. So that is where they wanted it, I believe. Um, and so Tate is, I think, going to try to raise the yellow to the button, is my guess. Um, I'm interested to see if he's going to try to draw though, because if he draws to touch the button, that would also secure the win. It's a tie game. Um, he's in his final minutes, but we'll have plenty of time to make the shots. Campbell is set to steal the win here as Sean Tate, delivers his hammer rock. Sweepers are on it. Looks like they might be. Needs to make sure just to round through the port. Now the question is it going to make contact with the yellow rock? It does not. And so that does appear to be Campbell stealing the win over Team Tate. Campbell is a Coyotes team, so that was another Coyotes clash with Team Campbell getting the better of Team Tate. A fascinating outcome. So quickly let us shift back to sheet five and see how they're doing. And it looks like we're headed to an extra end on on 5 or E as the Aces was able to steal the extra point. Now they need to steal the extra end. So as we continue with our ongoing coverage, that is a very interesting cat-centered house on the left side here on the home side. Um, so we have two games going on at the same time. Uh, let's maybe uh, sorry, on sheet 4 and sheet 5 have extra ends. Let's start with sheet 4 as they are about a third of the way through, and then we'll rejoin sheet 1 as needed. And so on sheet 4, tied game between Team Walsh with the blue rots and Team Thangdarai with the yellow. Thangdarai has the hammer here in this extra end. So Thangdarai, skipped by Subs or Subastika, has the hammer in this extra end. As we see the, I think it's the third for Subs. No, it's the second. It's Megan Armstrong. Teams do get extra time for the extra end, 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Uh, and that was looks like a really solid shot there from Megan as it clears the guard and opens up the center. And it looks like Walsh wants to put up a guard. So this is a situation where Walsh needs to steal the end. And so they're looking to provide some cover so they can, have something buried and it'd be difficult for Team Thingdarai to hit out. So looking to either put up a guard. I don't know if they want to tap back, and that was the. I believe that was the second for Walsh, which would be Kate Garfinkel. So that guard was made, and so now Subs has the broom down for a another takeout from Maiden Armstrong. So Maiden's shot is away. Looking to peel the guard. Definitely doesn't want to disrupt the situation in the house too much. So the guard is peeled, and the shooter's going to go across the rings and out of play. And so at some point, Walsh is going to want to maybe tap the blue back to be scoring. Um, and so she's kind of splitting the difference. Wants to come in and put a front stone in front of the blue. It's going to be kind of a tricky shot because it's going to be the angles that will be the most important part as Gabrielle Coleman delivers her shots, looking for the in turn clockwise rotation, hoping to end up pretty much right on top of the blue stone that is second in the top of the rings. And this is looking pretty good. It's looking a little heavy, so they maybe could call the audible to tap it up. But actually, I say that and it hits the brakes. Every time I think it's going to keep coasting, it hits the brakes. So you think I would know by now. um, So we are to the third rots as we saw Coleman throw her first, and now we're going to see Claire Blasky throw for Team Walsh. She throws third, but uh, the vice is another player, if I remember correctly. And so this is Blasky Stone, and definitely moves some rots around. It runs the blue onto yellow. Gets rid of one of the blues, but also gets rid of one of the Walsh yellows. So um, sorry, I think the right yellows. So the position has inverted, and it is now um, Walsh sitting shots. as we see Coleman throw her next stone. I think looking to put up a center guard to protect that shot stone. So again, the position's inverted. It's fascinating to see how the end has turned. Um, Looking on sheet five, the game between Aubrey and Aces, the first two ends were blanked, which is kind of unusual for this level of play. Blinks are not uncommon, but to see two blinks back to back, you see maybe about once or twice a tournament, I would say. Tie game over on D, and we'll definitely provide the finish for that game as soon as this end concludes. But we're going to see Claire Blaskey's next rock, looking to, I think, clear the guard, maybe get a double here. As Subs is watching the stone travel down the way, it's going to clear the blue, and that's all. As the shooter rolls wide, and so now again Walsh is going to put up another center guard as Coleman is now down on the playing side to hold the broom for her skip. Uh, Walsh throws left-handed. I don't think it makes too much difference in play, but it can be a factor at times. As she gets set, looking in on the sheet five game, Team Aces with the yellow rocks needs to steal the win, and there's a lot of rocks in play already. With Team Aubrey looking to, I think they're sitting shot right now on the edge of the button. And again, we'll visit that game in just a moment. Just wanted to keep you abreast of what's going on. This is Walsh's first rock without the hammer here in the eighth end. Walsh had to get 2 points to force the extra. That was a really good shot that she had to make. And Walsh is looking to put up a guard here, just to the left of the center. This is a bit heavy, I think. So this also might tap the blue back slightly. And got me again, guys. Hits the brakes and parts in the top 8 foot. So they're pretty tight to each other. So there is a possible double takeout there for Subs Thank to Ride to take on. Uh, Both teams get a fresh timeout for the extra end. They cannot carry any extra end to, sorry, they cannot carry any timeout into the extra end, but they do get a fresh one. So looking to line up a double, and we do see Maiden Armstrong holding the broom. And Subs gets sets, looking to definitely move one of the blues, maybe move both of them if she's lucky. This looks like definitely a makeable double takeout as Sabasticas, sorry, Thing well, his first name is Sabastica. Thing rock is away. It's going to get one of the blues, and that is all. So now Walsh is in a situation to put up some cover and force Thington to a tricky shot, likely a draw for the win. Because if right now, if Walsh puts up a guard, then Thington has a draw to the full 4 foot for a single point. Um, and that seems to be the setup. It looks like Walsh is going to draw again. And I would say a slight tap or a freeze is not going to be uh, too bad. She doesn't want to dislodge the blue entirely or create an opening. Um, so I think the guard is the best, but a slight tap is not the end of the world. The line is the most important part. It's looking pretty good. And I said it's kind of close to it. It hits the brakes right in the top of the right in front of the house in the guard zone. And so Thing to Rise called their timeouts, their team timeout, as Armstrong and Thing to Rise are talking about their options. Um, Lead Amy Verway Cohen and Claire Blasky come down to talk about the situation too. While they look at it, they're thinking about maybe they have two options really. They can try to draw to the 4 full foot, and that seems to be the option they chose, or they could have tried to tap the blue out. because the blue looks a little open. I think that might be what they were asking their front end if they could see any of it. And as Sengler just moves towards the hat, I think that she might. I thought she might look at the situation from the hack, but is decided on the draw to the forefoot or the button for the win. That seems to be um, a pretty solid call, but also depends on how confident you feel. Also, that blue was about 60% buried. So as Thangdarai gets set, looking for a draw for the win. Walsh is looking to steal the win here in the extra ends. And they're sweeping it. Looks like it's pretty good. It needs to hit the brakes, I think. And this just looks to be a little up weight. It does hit the brakes, but not in time. It's going to settle in the back 12 foot. And so Walsh will steal the win. Uh, a good comeback from Walsh to prevail over Team Thangdarai. So as they shake hands, let's cut over to sheet 5, where they are, I think, at Skip Stones to the contest between Team Aubrey with the Red Rocks and Team Aces with the Yellows. It's a very, very messy house, but it looks like Aubrey is in a position to secure the win. Aubrey has the hammer. Aces is trying to steal, and that is a messy, messy house. You can also see that all four players for uh, Team Aubrey are on the ice, including Luba Brock, who had a small fall yesterday that needed some medical assistance. The team said that she was doing fine last night, and she's on the ice today. So definitely hope that she is doing well, and good to see her up and about. Looks like for Aces, I think they were maybe hoping to hit in and off. Not quite sure what the shot call was there for that. Um, so now we are to skip stones. Actually, the Aces threw her first stone. So now Aubrey is sitting shot. So I think they want to kind of close the door and make sure that Aces doesn't have any real way to get in. And I see a circus shot that is down the middle that I don't know is there. um, I don't know if the chat sees anything. Although this is it's a fascinating setup. So many rocks in play. Just a Christmas tree out front as Debbie Aubrey gets set and delivers the first of her two stones with the hammer here in the extra end. Uh, a pretty interesting game when you look at the scoreboard. Looks like they blinked the first two ends, and then Aces converted the hammer with two in the third end. But Aubrey responded with a three spot and four. So I would probably make the shot deeper, but it ends up in not a bad place. If it was a little higher, they could have given Aces a place to. I think Aces still has a shot actually. So I was thinking about a certain shot down the middle where you have like a yellow raise to the red, and that would be the level of difficulty would be next to impossible. Uh, but that rock going as being where it is, either it should have been a little higher up or a little deeper, because now it gives Aces, I think, a slight angle to roll towards the button, and I think that is their shot, especially since they don't have hammer and need to steal. Um, and I think it should have been deeper because if it was a little higher up, it could have created like an angle raise situation to hit a stone onto the yellow, onto the red around the forefoot. Um, so tricky situation here. Interesting developments in the estuary, and I know. It's So Coyote Wild. So Aubrey has the hammer, and so they're sitting shot. So Aces needs to be shot after this to have a chance. Yes, their last rock, and so I'm updating the warm room about what's going on. So Aubrey put a stone right there, and so I think it creates a slight window to hit and roll. Yeah, hit half the red. So I think they're trying to do the like a heavy draw and hit the inside. Okay. And also just seeing where the stones are, they're not. I don't see a double there necessarily. Oh. Oh yeah, like, especially with that high guard. Yeah, yeah. So there's a high guard that's really blocking access directly to the forefoot. But that Aubrey stone does. But all they need to do is be like 2 inches on the button to be shot. So Jennifer Aces gets set after the timeout. Needs to be shot here, looking for a heavy draw to kind of wick off the red that Aubrey put up to roll towards the button. Uh, Sweepers are now on the rock. I think trying to coach it over. I don't know if it's going to get over enough. No, it's just needed another inch of curl, I think, really. Or yeah. So handshakes all around as Team Aubrey will secure the win, having the hammer here in the extra end. 8-7 winners over Team Aces. So some interesting, exciting finishes. We had two extra end games to wrap up our coverage of our afternoon game. So just to recap the winners really quickly as we zoom all the way out. On sheet A, we had Team Meyer of San Francisco, the 7-3 winner over Team Gilbert from Oval Curling. Sheet B, Team Aronson won a Coyotes Clash over Team Murray, 6-3. On sheet C, Campbell stole the win from Coyotes, taking an 8-7 win over Team Tate. On sheet D, Team Walsh stole the win over Team Thington to Rye 8-7. And then on sheet E, after Team Aces forced the extra end, Team Aubrey took control in the extra end to take an 8-7 win over Team Aces. So that brings you up to date on the scores. When we join you again at 5 o'clock, we will let you guys know about playoff positioning. We're out of time for now, but we definitely appreciate everyone for tuning in. And we hope you'll be back at 5 o'clock for the early evening game between Team McBride of OC Curling taking on Team Leclerc, the currently undefeated Leclerc at 4-0. That's at 5. And then our MoPac After Dark game will be Team Campbell. I assume that's Coyote Wild, taking on Team Gilbert from Oval Curling of Utah. So for now, on behalf of all of us here at MoPac, San Francisco Bay Area Curling, and on behalf of our sponsors, doubletakeout.com, curling.gg, and Endgame Curling. This is your host, Ryan, saying so long for now.